Hey guys, it's Big Sexy with Big Sexy Outdoors. If you guys are looking for your bucks to be big and sexy like me, I recommend you go out and get yourself some Big Sexy by Domain. This product is filled with radish, turnips, and kale, and other vegetation to keep the deer coming back all season long. Go out to your local Tractor Supply and purchase some today. Big Sexy by Domain.
The sun peeks over the horizon. Your excitement builds. The animals in the field start to stir. The forest comes alive with sounds. The sunlight glimmers off the lake, and the mountains start to shed their morning fog. So load up your favorite ammo, grab a few buddies, and head out to make some memories. And tell the rest of the world that you've gone hunting. Gone Hunting is a 1 to 4 player game of family fun where you build a unique hunting ground, scout different animals, buy weapons and gear, and roll dice to hunt. Complete objectives and try not to miss. So let's load up the truck and back Gone Hunting today. See you in the field. There we go.
Hey, what's up?
We got a whole bunch of stuff going on today.
I don't know if you see this, but look at this new Big Sexy's hunting vest. You guys see this? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
See that nice patch? Now matches the hat, huh? Check out. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, you guys see this, man? Stuff's getting real here. So, super excited. We just get more and more stuff, dude. You like that background, huh? Yo, Big Sexy stepping up his game, brother. I don't know if you've seen that video we just posted. 2.2 thousand views in a
2 days.
Almost. It's about a day and a half it is. So super excited about that. I'm really excited about our special guest today. Jasveer Sendhu. He is from, and please tell me I said it right because I'm terrible.
No, you're good.
Brow Time Innovations, and he has made the brow hook. He has designed it. He has produced it, and he is now the copyright owner of the brow hook.
Brandon has dropped it in the creek.
Yeah. Super to have him on. Super to have him on, man. Brandon, BSO Brandon has loved your hook. He's going to actually get on and talk about it a little bit with you. He has some questions and some things, so he's going to hop on here in a second. So before we get to you, we have a big deal here on our show today. So we have 2 contest winners. So Big Sexy Outdoors held Big Buck PA contest, and the 2 winners we want to announce. It's been on our Facebook. It's been posted all over, but we have got to say it on here because they got to know. First, I'd like to show everybody the plaques that were made. So these 2 guys that won will get, this is the adult, and kids is almost similar. So I don't know if you can see it. They're in the sun. There we go.
Yep, junior license. Yep.
Junior. So super excited to give them away. I mean, let me tell you, we're going to show their picture. So the junior license holder winner is Mike Runkle Jr. That is his buck. He scored the highest in the BSO scoring category.
Nice.
And the adult is Brian Bretzius. He scored the highest in the adult, which, believe this or not, Mike Runkle Jr.'s dad missed that by I forget what the score was, but it was almost, it was ridiculously close.
Really?
Yeah. So super excited about that, guys. This is the first giveaway. First contest we held to do something like that. And I don't know about you guys, but I am super stoked. We have people already messaging us about next year, so I'm stoked about it.
I was gonna say we should do this every year.
Yep. So we got a little more discussions and a better talking with what we have to do. Yeah, I think you're right, Dave. I might have put the wrong buck up there, but regardless.
Did you?
I might have. Yeah, I might have put the wrong buck up there. But regardless, he won. And I'll find his buck and we'll make amends to it.
Yeah.
So we got some other cool stuff going on. We're going to talk to Jasvir. But before we even do that, Jasvir, we're going to involve you in something we've been talking about for weeks. We're going to release Don Hunting tonight. It's going to get released on pre-order.
Oh.
How excited are you, Jasvir? How excited?
Dude, I am so amped. You guys have shown me the pictures. I've been checking out the videos on YouTube. It looks awesome. And I'm generally not an RPG guy, but I am very excited to check this game out. I think it's going to be super cool.
Thanks.
I know I'm excited.
All right. Then I guess nothing to do it but to do it, yeah?
Yeah, ain't nothing to it.
That's right. So here we go. This is what a typical Kickstarter page looks like before you launch it. Tells you your project is approved, blah, blah, blah. You go, Tay. Tells you how long you have. We have 30 days to get $2,000, which we should be able to do. Look, tonight. We'll get it tonight. So listen, get ready.
Get on and do this as soon as he's done. Pre-order this game. Make your life way easier.
And we're going to show you how to do that. We're going to show you how to do it. So I hit the old ready to launch, hit the I agree. I've done this like 17 times with other projects. I'm just so used to doing all of this. And congratulations. Your project is live.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just launched Don Hunting Kickstarter.
Yep. And when you go to find this, let's get the link out there for everybody now that it's officially live so that they can all go. I'm going to hit the old copy.
I'm getting on there right now, too.
Just sent the link out to all the places. And all you'll have to do is come to that link, hit this thing that says back the project. Now, I can't do it. You can see it says you can't back your own project, right? But you'll click on that, or you'll click on one of these different reward tiers that we have down here, which we have a pledge it because you like it. You can get the print and play where you want to print and cut it out yourself. You can get for $20, you can get the PA edition. Then you can also get the retailer. If you're a retailer, you can get 6 copies of it at a special discount. Or if you want your own custom card in the game, we have that for you too. So you'll get your card in there and you'll get a copy of the game. But yeah, we managed to streamline this quite a bit. We took out the store board, which really was just there for pretty to help you organize. It's not necessary. So if we can take that out and save you money, that's what we did. We tailored this thing to PA. We got tons and tons of animals in here, 54 of them that you're going to be able to go out and hunt. We got a lot of gear for you to find. Some of it sent in by some BSO people. Whoops.
I love the pictures. They came out so nice.
Thanks. Yep, we got the link right away up there. You should be able to see it there, Barnes. If you can't see it, you got to let me know. We'll have
just jumped on here as well, so I'm on the Kickstarter, and it looks really nice. You guys did a nice job laying it out.
Thank you. And listen, I got to chime in, Chris. Gun hunting is your baby. I let you talk about gun hunting all the time, but I got to chime in on one thing. The coolest part of this game, and I don't know if you can tell how excited I am, but the coolest part of this game is not only did we go to PA and we lower the cost for everybody to buy, so we cut things out to make it better, to make it cheaper for you to get your hands on it, you to want to try it, you to want to play it, but in the future, when we sell 500 copies, we're going to expansion packs. And those expansion packs can just make this game grow. It's going to grow and grow and grow and grow. And the more you love it, the bigger it gets.
Mm-hmm.
And I am super stoked, man. I mean, I can't explain to you how excited I am.
It's going to be cool. It's a very realistic, like the idea of it is very realistic. I love how you have the base camp features. I love just the statistical reality of it. Like, hey, look, you're not always going to hit every shot you take in the real world, and you can't in the game, and I love that. I think the idea of the hunting season was dialed in. I think you guys did a great job with that, and I'm excited because I think that like it will scratch an itch, especially in the off season, just to get the guys around or your hunting pals and your family, your kids, and just sit around and play the game. I think it's going to be a nice way to kind of to get after that feeling that just the excitement of exploring something new and the camaraderie that you get. I think it's going to be cool.
And this will be in your hands for the end of hunting season, because we're going to print now. We sent the payment out today to go to print. So I mean, there's no question, is it coming out? It's just, are you getting a copy?
Yeah, that's more the question. You're getting a copy once we have it in our hands. So
cool. So can I jump on this to Kickstarter right now, and I can do this, right? You guys are good for me to do it?
Yeah, do it, man.
Sweet. I'm going to do it while we're on the phone here.
Sounds good.
So now we know what you're doing, but I think it's cool if you tell the viewers what you're doing. What's your goal here? I know you're going in, you're going to buy a game, but what's your goal?
Absolutely. So there's several different things that I want to do when I'm doing this. Firstly, it's an opportunity to support these guys through Gone Hunting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll get a game out of it. That's pretty cool. And the second thing, and the reason why Brow 10 Innovations, my company, is interested in it, is because we're going to put our brow hook, which is kind of what we loosely discussed earlier. It's this utility hook for hunters. So you'll be able to go in there and find the card in the game when you play it. And you'll be able to get this as like a tool in the game to help you be more successful as a hunter in the game, in the same way that you can go online, you can grab one of these to help you as a hunter in the real world. And we'll talk more about the product later. But it's just kind of a cool way for me to share the product with you guys, and for these guys here at Big Sexy to also get a little touch point on it too. So as I go through this, as I get on Kickstarter, I go to Gone Hunting, I click the link, and then that gives me the option on the right to back this project. So I'm doing this, and I'm just going to describe to you guys what I can see while I'm doing it. So you can see that back this project. So I hit that. And then what it starts to do is display to me the different pledge levels that I can use. And it says kind of select your reward. So there's a $5, a $20, a $75, 150 level backing. And each one of those has separate benefits, and you can read through those specifically and see what you want. For me, I'm going to do a Gone Hunting custom card. So I'll click that, and it gives me an option. Basically, this one, I'll read this one out. It's not very long, so I'll just read it. Not only do you get a physical copy when you do this pledge level, but you also get to have your image, as long as it's appropriate, right, on a custom card.
Must be appropriate.
Yeah, we got to put that in there.
That's right. Gotta keep our morals and values here, folks. But then the images that you get will be kind of reviewed by them, and you can work with them to create a card within the game. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to put that in there. And then it gives me an option to select a shipping destination. So I'm US, so I did that. And then bonus support. So if you want to go above and beyond within that pledge level, you can do that, which I'm going to do something as well, just because I believe in it, and I think this is really going to go somewhere. So I want to help them out as much as I can. And then after you click that and you've moved to the next stage, it's going to give you any kind of additional add-ons that you want to do, like Chris was saying. Maybe you want to do a print and play. That's an option. You can click that. It's however many dollars for that. If you want to get some additional games or additional things that they've backed or supplied in the past, you can do that as well. So there's like Slaughterville book covers. There's some additional Gone Hunting items, an outdoors indoors guest spot, such as myself, like today. And then you can also And then, so once you've done that and you've collected your add-ons, whatever you want to do, you just hit continue in the bottom right. And then it's just going to be like anything else. It'll give you that you would get online. You put in your credit card number or whatever your payment method is. You fill out the information and you go from there. So it looks like it's pretty simple. And I'll pass it back to Chris while I get my stuff stuck in there and get these guys pledged.
Sounds good. And
we appreciate you, brother. First pledge out there, you're going to get a brow hook card. I am super stoked for you, whether you believe that or not. I am super stoked for you.
I believe it, guys. It's been good talking with you guys over the last couple of weeks and just getting a good feel for what the companies do and also just who you guys are. I love the energy and I love being a part of it myself. So I appreciate that support and I'm excited to see where this goes.
So while you're doing your stuff, let's have Brandon tell a little bit about your brow hook before you tell about it, so Brandon can give his little input in there.
I'm excited to hear it. Let's hear it.
Well, which one you want to know about? The one that's in the bottom of the Hoosic River or the one that I'm using?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's hear about why you like it, and then we'll know why you were so disappointed when you dropped it.
All right. So, it's one of those products that you just don't think you really need until you have it. I don't understand it, but now that I have one, I need a box of them. And if you guys have noticed, I keep bidding on every auction, and I don't give a crap about the rest of the stuff. I'm going to give half of that stuff away, and I'm probably going to leave the rest of it on the shelf. But the damn hooks, man, I don't understand. I'm hung up. So just the ease that they give you. There's this weird thing. I use a climber a lot as far as the stand goes, or we saddle hunt. And that thing, I have these little thermoses. They're like Walmart thermoses. They keep everything just as hot as a damn Yeti does, or Arctic, or whatever you guys use for brands. But it's got like a little rubber loop on it, and they keep my thermos from clanging around on there. They hold it right. My gun sling, my shotgun slings when we're decoying, setting up decoys for duck hunting or goose hunting, I can just throw my shotgun over my shoulder, because we all know that you don't see ducks for an hour until you go and try and pull a decoy or mess with something. And I can just whip that thing off and shoot.
We were doing that yesterday with those.
Yeah, literally. And then, well, the one that ended up in the river was partially my fault. We had birds come in, do the same exact thing while we were messing around with the decoys. And I'm trying to jerk Texas rigs off the damn hook as I'm going. And the next thing I know, I had just stepped in some muddy, silty crap, and I go to reach down, and all my decoys are starting to set themselves. And I go, what the hell? Oh, no. And I look, and, of course, the thing had popped off. And, on my waders, they're kind of slick neoprene anyway. So that thing just, I didn't obviously have it hooked all the way into my gun pouch or my shell pouch belt. And bam, off it came. And he's somewhere in the Hoosic River, buried in the mud, and I wasn't swimming in 14-degree weather to find it. I wanted to. I did. I really did. But I knew I had another one on the way, so I was like, okay, I can kind of live with this. But
so what you're saying is you weren't dedicated.
I'm pretty dedicated, but we still had 2 hours of hunting, and I was already freezing. So, my buddy Tyler comes over and he goes, it's official. We're a bunch of you-know-whats. And I'm like, yeah, no, I know, buddy. We're dumber than hell. It's 14 degrees and we're all freezing. And he goes, well, we're still going to sit here, aren't we? I go, oh, yeah, of course we are. And then we had a 650-yard walk back to the trucks with all of our crap. And I would have really loved to have that damn hook. But guess what? The jet sled just got weighed down. That's all I can say.
Well, the good news is it proves it's heavy, right? Because it's not floating. So it proves it's heavy enough to not float. That's
it's
a good
so
thing.
Weird. I don't know if I'm glitching out on you guys.
Go ahead.
We got weird service here since we got the snowstorm. But, yeah, I will definitely be using that thing more and more and more. And I can think of 1,000 ways. Like right now I'm thinking of 2 or 3 off the top of my head. But I can think of 1,000 ways, even if you're not an outdoorsman, just to use that thing even in your house or in your shop. Everybody's got something you can hang up real quick or whatever if you use it permanently or take it with you. And it's compact enough that it fits in your pocket. and it's big enough to still hang something heavy off of, or have it be stable enough to trust it to hang something. Like, I'll hang my damn rifle off that thing in the stand. I don't care. I trust it that my rifle's not going to fall 30 feet. I mean, if I drop it, that's my own damn fault. But I trust it enough that it's not going to break or bust or anything like that. I mean, I wouldn't go standing out. I'm a big boy, but
sissy.
And just I just want to point that out. They're not made for climbing with.
Yeah, no,
They're
it says it right on the side. Yeah, that's a good idea to put that in there, because I know there's some moron out there going to try and start a lawsuit over busting that thing if you didn't have it printed on there.
I guarantee if Brandon tried it.
Not yet.
Chris, are you able to show any pictures of it being used?
Me?
Yeah.
I posted some up to the page there. I don't know if they're not really good pictures. I'm not like the best videographer or camera guy here. So
We're working on that. We're working on that, right, Brandon?
Here's what I'll do.
Yeah,
I've also got. I just the other day I realized that, Brandon, you made a great point. Like, there's 1,000 uses for this thing, and one of my mentors had said, "Hey, why don't you put a little a link on your website where people can go to and see how they're used?" I thought, man, that's a pretty good idea. So yeah, there you go. There's you can see them there, and there's also like a page on it. I'll put a link in the chat here.
I like that. Not to interrupt you, I like that. Chris just rolled that up. Chris, roll that up in the branch.
There you go.
You see how you hung that on a branch and hung your stuff from the branch? I thought that was awesome. You know how many times there's a tree there, and you're like, how do I
just flip it over and just hang it? Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That was one of my favorite pictures. One of the best ideas I've seen with that hook.
Well, I appreciate that. So what I'm gonna, Brandon, I really appreciate what you said. I'm really excited that you like it. I'm just like, you couldn't make me happier, because basically, like so my background is engineering. So I'm a mechanical engineer, and like I like to design things that people are going to use, and I like to design things that are practical. And like, carabiners are great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of awesome uses for carabiners. They're inexpensive. They have retainer clips on them, but they're not custom designed for the kinds of things that we're doing. They're sort of a secondary thing. They just kind of came along and they happened to work for some things. So I was out deer hunting, and I was like, man, I wish I had a quieter, easier to deploy thing that was more versatile, that I could use to hold my bow, hold my rifle, hold my backpack while I was in the tree stand. And I also use like a run and gun setup. I have XOP sticks and a platform that I use as my climber. And I was just sick of trying to like figure out how to get something wrangled to hold my gear securely and close enough to the tree that it would sort of break up my own profile and silhouette, while also keeping it secure and preventing the wind from blowing it unnecessarily. And so that's kind of
you're right on with that too, like keeping it close to the tree and breaking up profile, because the number one way to get picked while saddle hunting is to have a big hanger out there with your bow or your pack or something hanging on. That's the number one way to go to pick you out of a tree.
Absolutely, man. And so, I mean, you got to think, and you guys are from you're from New York, right?
Yeah, Brandon? I'm in upstate New York.
That's right. So you guys have thick enough woods and forests that you guys are familiar with seeing things like, just wide out trees where you have that kind of profile, and then also like burls and things like that. And I think that, from a deer's perspective, they're looking up at you, and you need things, as you're saying, you need things to kind of break up the silhouette and make you look like a bulge on a tree rather than just like a strange offshoot. So that I use that for. Oh, that's a thing you're looking at now, Chris. While I was in South Dakota on my hunt, I'll get more into where that turkey came from, but the little clip side of the brow hook, that side will fit around a turkey's legs, which is super handy when you're skinning one out, because I like to skin my turkey. Nice. So I'll put that around my cargo rack on my car, hang the bird off of it, and then I can kind of work with my knife and pull the skin down. And I haven't tried it on other small game, but I imagine the same thing would be true. You're trying to get a skin off of a rabbit or something like that, and you just need an extra set of hands. flip those legs into there, and it'll pull in right behind the tendons and keep it nice and tight. You can pull it down. So tons of uses for it, but that's why I came up with it, is I needed something that was handy. And I have all these straps on the trees already. And so I was like, why am I going to bring more equipment in, things that are more complicated to deploy? I just need something that works with my setup as it is. And so I came up with this. And, I'd be interested to hear what questions you guys have about kind of why it's designed the way it is. So in a second, I'll take some questions on that if you have any.
I think, listen, I don't want to interrupt, but we've been doing this long enough. I think before we do that, you should explain to the people, your theory behind, I don't want to say your theory behind, you kind of just went over your theory behind why you designed it, but so you were an engineer.
Right.
So when people know you designed this hook, they know this is a quality standard hook. Explain that to them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't like to compromise on quality. And just as a real quick background, I used to work for a company, for a big corporation. I worked for them for about 5 or 6 years. I had worked with them throughout college, and I left that company because at the time I was not satisfied with the level of quality. I really wanted to make sure we were doing the best job we could, and we had the resources to do it. And when we didn't have the resources, we had the methods to find the resources. So, I'm a huge advocate and a proponent of getting the right stuff for the right job, making sure you got the right tool. My parents did an awesome job of teaching me that. And I'm a huge believer that God's going to give you what you need when you need it. So, just being open to the idea that you're going to produce the highest quality product you can produce. And that doesn't matter whether you're an artist or you're a hunter or you're an engineer or you're a doctor or whatever. It doesn't matter what you are. If you bag groceries, you can do the best job you can do. And when I was when I finally had that idea for the brow hook, I told myself, and I thought a lot about it, and I was like, I'm not going to cheap out on this. I'm going to make it that's sweet. That's a nice picture. I'm
that's
not
my thermos there on those.
That's super cool, and I like them. So actually, this is a perfect example. When I was looking at materials, when I produced this, I wanted to make sure that we were using the best material for the job, because there's tons. If you didn't know this, there are literally thousands of different variations of plastic that can be used to make things, and you know it because you buy some cheap thing and it cracks on you the first time you use it, and you're like, man, I wish this was solid. And what I did is I went out and tested different kinds of plastics. I have a 3D printer, and I went through that process of prototyping different materials. And I found that I wanted something that was going to be temperature resistant. So it didn't matter whether you were hunting in those like days where it's like -3, you've got a wind chill, and it's just frigid cold. Like, I want this to perform the same as when it's one of those abnormally warm, 65 to 75, 85 degree September days. I wanted it to be the same all the time. So we thought about that when we were picking the material. And I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't something metallic. Like, metal is great. It's got intrinsic value. We love using, good quality steel, aluminum materials. And a lot of times we don't trust things that aren't made out of that. But the reason this is important, that to use something like this, which is a composite polymer or plastic, is it doesn't make a metallic sound. And I hate what I call the rings and pings of hunting. I don't like my gear when I bump it and a little carabiner goes squeak, or I bump it against my deer stand, and then all of a sudden it sounds like I'm ringing a dinner bell in the middle of the woods. So I wanted something that was going to be acoustically or sound neutral. So that way, as a hunter, I need to be careful still, but it gives me a margin for error. So the material that we chose is a polypropylene glass fill. So it's got little glass fibers in it that reinforce it and make it super strong, but it's also still plastic, which is made out of a polypropylene, and it's acoustically neutral. It's softer, it's pliable, and it's lightweight. So this thing only weighs 0.6 of an ounce. So if you pick up an egg will be heavier than this, but it will hold up to 60, 75 pounds. Now, our stated rating is 30 pounds because I want to make sure that I can always guarantee. I wouldn't say never put more than 30 pounds on it. when you're using it in the woods, because the last thing you want to do is just misjudge it, or maybe you put your weight on it and it kind of removes your room for error. But I've tested these all the way up to 85 pounds. So they are super, super strong. 30 pounds is 900 times the weight of this. So it's a super handy material, and we really wanted to think of, and I guess to illustrate your point, Ben, and I think that does a good job of it, is just we really thought about, why are we doing it the way we're doing it? Am I doing the best possible product? Am I thinking about the acoustics? Am I thinking about the durability? Am I thinking about the temperature and the environment in which we're going to use it throughout the year? Because most of us are passionate hunters that want to hunt as much of the season as we can. And am I looking at it in a way that's affordable? Because if I make this thing out of some, material that would make it cost hundreds of dollars, the value isn't there. So, dude,
Oh, good. I
good.
love Barnesy. I love him.
Dude, I can't stand him most days. I want you to know that.
But the other thing we did that I'll just point out is when we made this, we injection molded it, because I'm a firm believer in the product. I think that people are going to find uses for it. I believe that there's lots of folks like Brandon who are they're going to look at it. Maybe, I don't know, but once they get one and they play around with it, they will see the value of having a tool like this in their pocket, because it literally fits in their pocket. And when they're ready to go, they can just take it off their stand and put it right back in their pocket, and it can be used for anything else in between the truck and the tree. So I'm a firm believer in the product, and I believe that we'll grow to a point where we're producing more and more and more. And as we do, if I go injection molding route, which we did, that helps keep the cost down and make it effective, even though it costs me more out of my pocket on the front end. I want to get the consumer what they need for the most reasonable price possible. In the same way that you guys try to do that with Gone Hunting, you look for some opportunities, say, hey, you know what? We can shift this around, we can twist this knob and pull this lever, and we're going to have a better product, and we're going to have a cheaper end cost for the customer. So I think there's a lot of similarities actually with the way you guys went about producing that game, and how thinking about the user and trying to be as thoughtful as possible.
So I can't read that, but I mean, I know what it says. So let's say it. What's the cost of your brow hook?
So the brow hook is $15. And actually for this, just with this podcast, what I'll do is I'll put a little promo code in the chat.
Okay.
And we can share that. So if you tune into this, you can grab the promo, and I'll actually go on and create that I'll put it on a little bit later. But I'll create a promo, and basically if you're watching this, you want one, you can get 15% off on those. And nice. Right now we're doing pretty good at that price. I think it's definitely worth its weight in gold. So if you go 0.6 ounces of gold, that's quite a bit of money. So I think we're doing pretty good. But polypropylene glass filled brow hook. It's in flat dark earth, and those are $15 a piece. We also have a bunch of other gear, and sort of, we've got some base layers, we've got some hats, all camo stuff. We've got a menagerie of different apparel available. But yeah, the brow hook is what we believe in. It's what we built our business around, and we think you'll love it.
I'm super excited. So here's a question. So like Gone Hunting, we go with sponsors and we go with things like that. Have you looked into doing anything like that, putting other names on your product, doing other things to try to get your things out there?
Honestly, through Gone Hunting with the playing card, that's my primary outreach. And I'll be honest, these guys reached out to me, which I'm deeply appreciative of. But at this time, I haven't really looked out at those options. I'm entirely self-funded. So,
Same here. Same here.
Yeah, right. So I wanted to retain as much ownership of it as I could, because that's how I know I'm going to have the best product to give the end user. And I don't really want to have to compromise for other people. on what I believe is the best possible thing for the hunter who's going to have this, or the hiker, or anybody. But I would like to reach out to different retailers and see if I can't partner with some of them to provide higher volumes at a lower cost, and put it in places that if any of you guys, you go get some, a box of ammo at Walmart, or maybe your local Dunham's or Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever. I want to be able to eventually get to a point where those are literally, you can walk in there, and when you pick up your extra box of ammo, you can say, hey man, I should pick up a brow hook because I just set up a new stand and I want to have one on there.
I'll tell you what. You're willing to help us out. I think somehow we could come up with putting that brow hook on our website. We can talk to Chris and putting your link up and getting that on our website to help get that over there for you, since you're willing to use a promo code on our behalf.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's pretty cool. We'll help you out that way. How about promo code BSO? You okay with that?
I love it. Let's do capital BSO, and let's just put, since it's 12/12, we'll go 12/12 there. So BSO 1212.
There you go.
I will go on my side of things now. So bear with me for a couple minutes while I set that up on my store, and then I'll let you know when it's live.
Sounds great, man. I said I'll get Chris. Chris runs our website. He's really good at it. You don't want me running our website. I promise you we're going to fail. I tried doing some stuff on our website, and I had to text Chris.
Oh my God!
Mayday! It was pretty bad.
I don't know how. I don't know what he did, but it was bad.
If it helps, neither did I. So one thing I seen that Dave commented. I don't know if you guys were watching Barnes. Barnes is actually a BSO member. He don't like showing his face on the show.
It's because he knows my beard game is stronger.
Yeah. But Barnes said that would fit a duck's head well. So Brandon, he was really pointing that out to you. And I don't know if anybody's tried that, but that actually sounds like a really good idea.
Yeah, actually, I think you probably could, if you were to go out and retrieve one or something and still wanted to be hands-free while you're in the water. Because we don't, every once in a while we use a dog, but not very often. But yeah, like a Drake Mallard's head, the back of the skull is quite a bit bigger than the actual diameter of the neck. I mean, it might not fit like a little teal or a small woody or something, but a Drake Mallard, I'm sure you could go ahead and just throw that thing right in there and have it in your pocket basically on the way back.
I want you guys to know I can't stand him. You see his comment, right?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Dude, Barnes is one of them guys, man. He'll do anything for you, but he has the biggest smarty pants you will ever meet in your entire life. He has something smart to say about anything in the universe.
Too funny.
Dude, we need folks like that. Get those original ideas, and then we just got to hold them to them.
Yep.
So, but he actually made the plaques, not the metal part, but he made the wooden. What's that say? First thing I thought, Chris, put that up there. First thing I thought of when I seen the product was my construction business. Well, there you go.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is cool, actually. So this hook, I wish I had my drill. So I do a bunch of carpentry as well. The large side of the hook literally fits directly around like a DeWalt drill and nail gun. That is exactly right. It fits around it perfectly. And you can get rid of that annoying little metal clip that they send, which is basically a complete waste of money and space on a drill because it never stays on your belt and it always rips a hole in your jeans. So like this thing will go around the handle, and then you can just, if you're like me, I'm ambidextrous with my drills. I can just pop them off, turn it around, and now I can keep it handy on the other side of my belt. So they're definitely, like, they are really nice for that.
That makes that hilarious. As you were saying that before you started your sentence, you see his comment, right?
I did. I saw his
phenomenal. I was like, perfect that you both shared the same brainwave on that. I thought that was great.
That's Barnes, is that right?
Barnes, yeah. His name is Dave. He's a BSO member as well. He watches the show faithfully every week, but he'll talk to you 1,000 times. He'll text you and message you, but you'll never see his face in the show.
Okay. Hey, well, Dave, you can reach out to any of these guys and get my contact. I would love to talk to you just in general. But I literally thought the same thing. And yes, that is absolutely true. We've used it when painting houses. For a buddy of mine, we use it on the ladder rungs, and it is super handy for hanging a paint bucket or even just your gun or whatever. It is super, super handy.
Now, I don't know if you guys took notice, kind of off topic, but we did have BSO member Skip on here, and his
30 seconds.
His service must be bad because he gets on a lot and then we lose him. And Skip is like Barnes, man. Them guys will do anything for anybody. That's why we invited him in to be part of us. I was really hoping you got to meet Skip. I was letting Brandon finish talking, and I was going to turn to Skip, and he disappeared. So I don't know where he went. But Skip is our fisherman of the group. He is Skip used to be a huge hunter, and he could. I'm not saying he don't hunt, but if he had to choose, I think Skip would stick to fly fishing on a daily basis.
That's cool.
He runs a
picture.
Say that again.
Did you see that picture of my buddy fly fishing with the hook on his belt?
Yep.
Yeah.
It might be why he jumped on the comment because he's I told you these guys have been giving me crap. They said they want your product, so these guys have been ragging me bad.
Now they don't have an excuse. They even got a promo code.
Yep, even got a promo code. So
no brainer.
I think that's awesome. So I've been watching your product, and I'll tell you one thing I want to stress to the people more than your product is I've been watching you. I've had conversations with you. Jazzveer is a Christian man. He believes in God. He is just a great guy to talk to. Chris, you and I spent an hour and a half. We got on for 20 minutes. Our conversation ended up till 11:30 at night. The man is a wonderful version of what BSO is about, and that for us was huge. He stands by what he says. He believes in what he does. And so when you buy that hook, you're not just buying a product, you're buying what he believes in as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's wonderful. To me, that means, more than the product is the man behind it. And I see a lot of great things coming from you. And I super appreciate, you were willing to jump on and sponsor this game, honestly, in minutes after a conversation. And you were funniest part of this whole thing. I'm going to be straightforward with you. Now, I want everybody to hear it is. When we got on and we talked a little bit, you were a little questionable. And then you started watching some of the sermons from my father, who's Pastor Barry Brown on the thing. And you actually messaged me back and said, I have no more questions. and I was like, that was awesome. To me, that was, you didn't even base it on me. You based it on what our group's about. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I think it's more about what's behind the product, what it's about. It's not about, the end. It's believing in what you do, believing in the people who are doing it. Mm-hmm. And that was touching to me. I think I told you this when we talked. My dad struggles. He's getting old. He's getting sick. 70-some years old. And he said to me one day, he said, I'm thinking about giving up them sermons on your thing every week. And I was like, Pop, you can't do that. And he's like, why? Now, I sent him your message to me about how you thought he was wonderful. And, I super love watching him every week. And it really touched me. And I sent him your message. And my dad almost started crying. He said, well, looks like that show must continue. So that was, that's what it's about. That's what BSO is about. It's not just about killing deer. It's not just about going to slay ducks. It's about being good people, loving what we do, believing in what we do. If we have 5 viewers every week, I don't care as long as that 5 viewers are happy. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie to you that I'm pretty stoked. I'm going to brag a little bit that the video we just posted is like, going 100 views every hour right now. So I'm in love with that part. You're my daughter. Oh yeah, she goes. And we need more of that as a group. And that's what we need to do. We need to shoot videos and get better at what we do. And we'll start learning more about what people want to get better at what we're doing. The same with God hunting, the same with the brow hook. Yeah, you can peek in and say hi. She wants to say hi.
A nice doe the other day.
But you hear that?
What? Thanks.
Nice doe. That was awesome.
Yeah, you shoot better than your old man.
Luck, man. I don't know.
It wasn't luck. If you listen to that video, I told her, hey, take your time. Breathe. You got this. You're okay.
I rushed it.
And she was going to rush it.
It definitely wasn't luck. You had to reload and take your time and breathe, and that'll definitely rock you off your game.
When she went to misfire, that's when we lost her. I want you to know that in the video. You can tell that's when we lost her. I said, oh my God, you never loaded a bullet. And she's like, yes, I did. And you could see her over. I mean, I'll have her in the video because I'm watching it here, but she's over there.
I can hear it.
And she threw the gun out the window and she was just going to shoot. And you can hear me in the video say, don't just shoot. Relax.
Dude, you need somebody like that too. I know I was telling you about my South Dakota experience, and you do. It's so helpful to have somebody just at your shoulder, just going like, just calm down. Just calm down.
Just take a breath. Just breathe.
Now,
I need
now you mentioned that she can shoot better than Ben, right?
Yeah.
As the tech guy.
No, why are we doing this?
Oh, this ought to be good.
All 3 shots. There it goes. You can watch it. You can watch it fly. There it goes.
He slowed it down.
Yeah, he slowed it down. What a jerk.
There it goes. Dun, dun.
Yeah, that's funny. I love that.
Oh, there it goes.
He just wanted it to have a
all right, on my behalf, fellas. Hold on my behalf. I just got my daughter's 20 gauge out of the shop, and I said, I don't shoot Mossberg. I shoot Remington. And I was like, oh, let me take your gun. I'll see what I can do. And I'm literally pushing down here to get the safe off, and the safe's up top.
Uh-huh.
So it flew, and I'm like, oh, crap, trying to figure out how to get the safe. But by the time the safe got off, the bird's at 70 yards. I'm like, well, I'm still shooting now. I don't care. There was nobody in the field, man. We were letting lead fly. But yeah, I did feel pretty stupid. I want you to know at that moment, my dog stopped, looked straight up at me, and was like, that ain't happening again.
Yeah. Why did you bring me?
Yeah, my dog.
If he found somebody else in the woods, he would have went home with somebody else, huh?
He was looking for a different truck seat.
Exactly. He's like, oh, man.
That's tough, man. If you're being a good sport, Ben, you're being a good sport.
I want you to know that I am the butt of everybody's jokes for some reason, but they're right. You seen Dave's. Look at Dave's comment. Look.
Yep.
Oh, dude, that's rough, man.
We love you.
I want you to know there was 2 of them sitting on the ground. So if we're telling the story, I got to be truthful. I'm honest.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him in the bush, right? But I was like, how do I get him to fly? So if I walked over, they were going to fly away from Dave. So I was like, well, I could see their little heads going through the bush here and there. You know what I mean? And I just seen the one's head going. I was like, boom! And they all flew to Dave. And Dave shot him.
You were doing your civic duty then.
Yeah. That's what I told him. I said, you wouldn't have shot that without me. You know, he don't get it.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, he lies like a rug. Come on, Dave.
Hey, a good dog's worth their weight in gold, you know?
Yeah,
you got to flush them. You got to flush them.
Yeah, let me tell you guys this. Now, I know we're coming off subject a little bit, but I told these guys, I know where these birds are. I seen them the day before. These guys all were like, oh, yeah, I hunt there all the time. So we spent 2.5 hours hunting where they wanted to hunt. We kicked 2 birds out right away, and then we didn't see a bird the rest of the time. Then, as we're packing up to leave, they're like, all right, we'll try your spot. Guess where we see all the birds, fellas? Huh? We're big, sexy, seeing the birds. Nobody listens to that, though.
Big, sexy birds, man.
Yeah.
They're out there.
Birds. I like that.
They're out there. The roosters and the hens, man, they're out there.
He would.
Hey,
I couldn't stand him. Look.
Oh, wow, man. I'm going to make you a big, well, I mean, I'll put it this way. If I have some time, Dave, I'll make you a big spoon and we'll wood burn pot stirrer on the side of it.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you for Christmas. Maybe 2023.
So you're counting on,
but if we have time,
is all I'm saying. You're seeing what I'm saying, right? Okay, that's all I need.
This is good. No, Ben, I did want to just backtrack for a second and say I really appreciate what you said. It means a lot to me. Definitely part of my mission is making sure that people are connected to the faith aspects of the world, you know, the things that make us what we are as human beings. And I'm going to read you our mission statement off of our website. And if anybody wants to go read about our mission, our design process, whatever, It's on www.browtineinnovations.com. And I've got my mission statement on our core values. Our core values are honesty, integrity, empathy, and love. And our mission statement is to connect people to God's creation and majesty through the demonstration of our core values. He is the well from which we draw our motivation and discipline. And by dealing with people honestly, with empathy and love, we can help them to unlock their passions for the great outdoors and all it has to offer. We pray that you would feel led to explore further and give back to the world around you. I mean, from my perspective, everything you said, Ben, is in line with that, and that's what I want to hear. It's exciting to me to be able to share my passion for the outdoors with you guys, with anybody who's listening, with anyone that I get to the great pleasure of speaking with, whether it's in the context of hunting or anything else, and just be able to point out how beautiful the world we live in is. There's a lot of rough things going on right now. But I find a lot of optimism and hope in just watching nature work and seeing how perfect it is in so many ways. So if you're having a rough day, go for a walk, and that will change your perspective. And I just want to encourage people to do that and to see sort of the spiritual strength that comes from that. So I really appreciate what you said, and I would reflect the same things I'm getting from what you guys are doing. And nobody's perfect, you know, we all make mistakes, but in forums like this,
that's how I felt about Dave's mom.
Exactly. You know, this is a great opportunity to come together in forums and share those mistakes and laugh about them and learn from them and encourage one another. So I love that, and hope to continue to be a part of these discussions and everything. So thank you for letting me be a part of it.
I'm glad you're on here, man. I really am. Like I said, our first conversation, I already knew. Me and Chris I'll say this a million times. Chris and I are always on the phone. I could be at work, and the moment I take break, Chris is the first person I message, or there's a message from him. Like, it's just the way we are, trying to stay in touch and what's going on with everything. And you know, when I first messaged you, I was excited. I said, Chris, I just messaged this guy, created this Browtine Innovations. I said, check out this hook he just made. He's kind of like us. And that was our conversation starter. And then we kind of, you know, then we looked together to check in on you. I ain't gonna lie to you. You could call us spies, whatever you want to check. But, you know, I can promote a product or whatever I want. I want to know something about you. And that's the reality of this. I want to know something about you. Brandon is from New York. We don't talk to Brandon. I don't see him at all. But I do talk to Brandon through group text, through Facebook. I see Brandon's posts. I know what Brandon's about. You know, if I went in and checked Brandon's stuff and Brandon was Dave wrote creeps. If I went into Brandon's stuff and checked Brandon's stuff and seen Brandon's a deer poacher, I'm not going to invite Brandon in here. That would make me an idiot. You know, that would make me against everything I'm standing for. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's like I told you, I want to reach with Big Sexy Outdoors. Chris and I's goal is to reach one member in every state. Not saying we can't have more. Our goal is one member in every state. Like right now, Brandon, from now on, when you get on, I want you to put aside your thing, BSO New York. Because if we get more people, you're going to be in charge of the New York division. And if we keep growing, that's the way I want this to grow. I want this to grow that when somebody remembers Big Sexy Outdoors, you know, look, the name, I get it, right? The name is, everybody's like, Big Sexy, that's ridiculous. I have guys make fun of it, say it's stupid. Look, I'll show you right now. This is where it comes from. See this? That's where it comes from. Now, why that's on my arm. So let me tell you why. I went through a horrible divorce. Horrible. So the bottom line is I had 10 years in a marriage and I loved somebody that didn't love me. I could hardly pick my feet off the ground. I could hardly stand up every day. I couldn't even look my own father and my own kids in the eyes because I couldn't figure out why I was less of a person, why I didn't deserve to be it. So one day someone gave me these words. They said, and my name didn't start as Big Sexy. They gave me the two words. They said, you're big and you're sexy. And you're going to pick your ass up, and this is how they said it, so excuse the French, and you're going to go to what you're doing, and you're going to make your day happen, and you're going to realize you're worth something, and you're going to keep moving forward no matter what. Well, let me tell you what. We're moving forward, brother, and there's nobody going to stop us. BSO will survive, and it will make it, and no one will stop us. We are going to keep going. And you know, those two words Big Sexy came from two words that were used to pick me up every day. I had to look in the mirror for a long time and not understand my life. And it's stupid. I spent a lot of money to tattoo two big words on my arms. But every morning I get up every morning and look at them words and I'd say, you're this, Ben, you're this. You can do this. Get up and move. And here I am. I raised 3 kids alone. Chris and I run BSO, and we have lots of help and a big team. And I'm great, man. I love God for all he's done. I mean, my daughter this year, I gave up my deer for my daughter. I mean, bottom line, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Who would not want their kid to shoot their deer? I mean, you seen the video. You see how happy we were, right? Like, I don't care if it was a buck, a doe, a fox, a pheasant. If she's the one killing, I'm the one happy, It's the experience and the time with my daughter. When we got there Saturday, we got home, or it would have been Friday, we got home, and she said, Daddy, I had the best time with you. And I said, you know what, honey, I had the best time too. And it had nothing to do with the animal. It had nothing.
That's awesome.
And that's one of our goals here. So everybody hears this. Our goal is to reach the youth. Our goal is to reach more kids that want to be part of something greater. And we're going to do it. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not quitting at this. We're going to do it. There's days Chris and I say, is it worth it? I'm paying a lot of money out of my pocket. There's days I'm trying to keep going. And I single dad with 3 kids. It's not always easy for Chris and I. Chris has, 19 kids? Oh, 5. But
God, dude, buy a TV.
But, I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to continue to pay for the stuff out of your pocket. Dude, I just picked up $300 in Big Sexy Outdoors gear. You want to know how much I sold? None. I've been giving it away. That's what I do, man. You got to spread the name, right? But it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. I just want the name out there. I want to be cool. And when we meet a guy like you who supports us and wants to be part of what we do, that's what matters to us. That's where it's at, man. I always say what's inside a man is more important than what's ever outside of man.
Good word, man. I thank you so much for sharing that. That's amazing. I wasn't sure what circumstances it looked like, and that is really awesome. And to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and take a step forward and keep taking a step forward is it's something we need more of in today's world. And it's a story of hope. It's exciting and happy to be a part of it. Any way that we can help out, support, let us know, because we're excited for what you guys are up to. It's super nice to get to know each one of you guys. Brandon, I have been vibing on your videos for the last week. As you get out in the woods, and then I see this live session. My favorite part was most recently, I think it was kind of like a small thing, but you got in your truck and you were driving, and I think you're like, I've got a few parts I got to replace, and the whole truck was rattling, or you were just getting a kick out of it yourself, and you were sharing that thought. I was like, sounds like, it just sounds like so many times I've been out with buddies and things like that. And I appreciate that, Chris. It's awesome to see the work you're doing with gun hunting. And I'm super excited to meet the rest of the folks through what you guys do. So very cool.
And Chris takes no credit. Chris, I'm going to interrupt you a minute. Chris takes no credit for anything he does. Chris, just as a tech guy, nothing else, has done more than I've done. I ain't gonna lie to you. He has a huge part of this, and he takes zero credit for it. And Chris, I'm gonna tell you right now, I thank God every day that you and I reunited and became better at being family members and friends. And I couldn't do this without you, whether you believe that or not. So I'll tell you that all day. Chris always says, the videos are going up 2.1 thousand. He says, you don't need me. I keep telling you don't need me, but I do. I don't need you just as a tech guy. I need you as a brother, as a friend, as a member. I can't always pick myself up, brother. Sometimes I need someone to help. I need you as a lot more than just a tech guy. So I want you to hear that from me on this show with everybody. You're a way bigger part of BSO than you could ever imagine.
That's awesome.
He's definitely the behind the scenes worker that's definitely getting it done all the time, man. I commend you for that. I know I am nowhere near the tech savvy person that I probably should be in 2022, but here we are. And Yeah, it's awesome.
You see him. You see, I can't stand him. That's why he guy keeps us laughing, man. That's why he's here. I mean, he's.
Now, I will say I did share an embarrassing one about you, right?
All right.
So I gotta.
Okay. No, I love this one.
Go, big sexy outdoors is more than just hunting, baby.
Whoa!
I love you.
There you go.
We were putting up trail cam pics. We were putting up trail cameras up in this old railroad bed, and I said to Chris, "You don't have the guts to slide down that hill." Here he comes.
Watch me. Watch me.
I remember that like it was yesterday. I laughed so we can hear me in the video. I laughed terribly.
That's so funny.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
Had
funny.
to share it.
On a side note, with the youth hunting deal there, we've been taking this young kid, 13-year-old Kane, out, and he finally got his first duck on Saturday morning. So he was super, super pumped. He was sitting probably 100 yards downriver from me, so I was not able to get any video footage of it. But when they came walking down through with this duck, listen, my buddy Tyler is not going to run a camera, I'm telling you. And he come walking down through, teeth chattering, 14 degrees. I mean, and we decided to set up still, and he's like, I'm freezing, but I'm still hunting. You know, he was so pumped, this little 14-inch 20 gauge, for God's sakes. The thing is so small, we didn't think we'd ever get him a duck, and he finally got one. And it was a beautiful mallard hen, and yeah, just a good time. So that was
awesome.
Now, my question to you and all this, and I know we're kind of off subject, but we all love to hunt, so we're still good. Did that kid shooting that duck mean more to you than you shooting a duck?
Oh, absolutely. We've been hunting all season to get him one.
That's all it's about, brother. I mean, that's what it's about. That's what the whole thing's about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'll add this to the discussion. So yesterday I went duck hunting, actually with a buddy of mine named Scott. And Scott, if you were watching, thank you for taking me out. I hunt ducks in a drainage ditch not far from where my parents live. I've got private permissions there, but I'm from Northwest Ohio. Duck hunting in Northwest Ohio is tantamount to looking for a needle in a haystack. It is so hard to get good ducks, and when you do, it's a couple of days in the year. You know, it's not like going to South Dakota or going up to Alberta. There's nothing in some days, and the other days you might see 1,000 fly over and they're gone for the season. And he took me out. We took his truck, we took his canoe, we took his decoys. You know, I brought a few along, but he put in the planning. He put in he's put in the time over the last few years to get good at it, and he and his brother and a couple of friends of theirs, and it was just he and I, and we had a great time. It was my first river hunt. I never hunted a bigger river like that. Went on the Maumee River, and it was just a blast. We had a great time, and he taught me, he gave me some pointers on my duck calling, because to be honest, dude, I've got nothing. I've got no other mentors to teach me how to duck call correctly. And it is amazing how much better my calling got in just a matter of 30 minutes to a couple hours with some little pointers and stuff. So, Scott, thank you. And honestly, I'm an adult, but I need help. And the fact, Brand taking those guys out, giving them a chance to duck hunt. I know how I felt the first time when I got my first duck, which was also a mallard hen. I felt like I won the lottery, and I was like 23 years old. So it's, that is such a cool experience to be able to share with somebody, especially a young hunter. And I commend you for doing that. I think it's awesome that you guys are all working on that. And I think I'm going to start looking for some opportunities so that I can start doing that myself, because it's just got to be super rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. And never in it for the feeling of the reward. I just enjoy teaching people stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just things that I know that other people have taught me over the years. Like, not to get onto a long story, but my father's pretty much just a deer hunter, a small game hunter, like squirrels, rabbits, things like that. And not a very proficient one. and doesn't put a lot of effort into it. But he's a big trapper, and he runs an amazing trap line, handles furs incredibly well, and that's what he enjoys doing. So that's cool. And so a lot of my hunting experience actually came from my one uncle, who, I have to thank him and my parents for getting me to him, and him for actually being willing to take the time, because I know how frustrating it probably was as a kid, just tagging around, crashing through the woods, sounding like a bear with 3 legs. And,
Sorry.
no, it's true. I don't know if you guys have ever taken that one person out that you're like, holy crap, we're not going to see anything for 6 miles, and that's if you stay here. And so it's one of those deals where, trying to teach people, and try and put them in an opportunity or a position where they might be able to harvest something, because you're pumped for them. I'm not pumped for myself on that. I feel great about it. It feels awesome, and I share in the reward of that. But I'm more pumped for them than I ever am myself.
Absolutely.
And then I like to cook. Like, I'm big into cooking, so teaching them how to cook it to where they don't hate it. Because some people,
Dude,
they're all
that's a huge part of it.
Oh, absolutely. Like what's the point of killing this thing if it doesn't taste good or whatever, and so, and I'm one to just choke it up and eat it at anybody's house. It doesn't matter to me how they cook it. I mean, there's only one time that I straight up quit on a piece of meat that I just couldn't choke down anymore, and it was a moose that had been cooked and then microwaved for me because I showed up late, and never again. That's not gonna happen.
I call ducks. I call ducks without a duck call.
I'm afraid to hear any kind of rendition that might result.
Yeah, I
use my hands.
Really?
Yeah, I use my hands.
And then he misses them.
Yeah.
But man, you should see him flock to that.
Yeah. I'm sure
the thousands. I'm sure. Maybe that's actually though. Maybe that's what we're doing wrong. Maybe we're trying to speak their language, and they've already figured out ours.
Yeah,
that's the secret.
When in doubt, pull out the Drake whistle. When in doubt.
Hey, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but Gone Hunting is
over 10% already.
Got 5 backers already.
Sweet deal.
So
I want to touch on that a little bit too, if you guys don't mind. As far as some funding for that. So here in New York State, we're allowed to run raffles for clubs, and that's what BSO would be considered with New York State. So I want your guys' opinions on some ideas as far as what we should raffle off to raise money to help this game. I was thinking maybe like a package deal on stuff, like maybe like, we're getting out of deer season and stuff like that. So next is turkey season for us. So maybe like a whole turkey hunting decoy, camo vest, a whole package. I'm figuring anywhere from $300 to $350, $400 worth of merchandise, $20 buy-ins on this, 100 tickets. I mean, that right there is a good chunk of change towards
that
this
funds
stuff.
the campaign.
And I know damn well I got people up here that'll buy. That's the thing. Was also thinking that what we could do for anybody out of state is basically, get the names down. They either PayPal you, Chris, or Ben, and then I can prove on a live video that their name has gone into the hat for the drawing, and put it all on there and do the computer generated deal so it doesn't look like favoritism anywhere.
Yeah.
And go from there. I think that's the way to do it. We were also talking about maybe a crossbow or like a rifle. The only thing with the rifle is whoever wins a rifle out of state would have to pay for FFL shipment and all that stuff. So,
and that's not that bad. So that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah. So
I'm in for whatever. I'm in for. Oh, look at this.
Yeah. So I will put in a brow hook, and I have this. This is like our I'll say vintage throwback. Like this was my first smack at a cymbal. But this is like our original vintage cymbal on a Stanley flask. And we'd sell that for like $45. So I'll throw that in, and I'll throw a brow hook in for the raffle, and you can put those in the package.
You can't steal that one, Brandon. You can't.
Brandon, if they're in there, they can't be yours. I
won't throw them in any rivers either. I promise.
All right. This one will float as long as there's nothing in it.
Perfect. See, now we need to design hooks that'll float.
Well, we lost that. That's gone. Way to go. There goes the flask.
That's not a bad. Maybe that's a like a little add-on thing. We could do like a little tether with a little one
location
of those
tether. Yeah.
Key fob, you think?
Dude,
yeah.
I like that. I'm writing that down, man.
Yeah. Business partners, buddy.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right.
I love that. But yeah, seriously though, could Ben one of you guys give me? Well, actually, Brandon, if you just reach out to me or whatever, you can email me off the website or get my contact from these guys and just send me the address and I'll send them to you. Or if you want, you can just wait until I'll send you some pictures.
I'll probably just wait and we'll do pictures and everything of all the items, that'll be in the package, and then go ahead and raffle that off once all tickets are sold.
Sweet.
I think that's the way to go. And we can, I think even just to get some money in say the BSO account, just so we can fund merchandise, fund different things. If we want to come visit your shop of what you're doing with the brow hooks or go on a big hunt or do a dinner or something, I think we need to run more of these raffles and different things just to get some money in there to get everything up.
Well, we definitely got to come up with a plan to start funding some hunts, because the only way we're going to get more stuff is more footage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
I've got a dozen hunt from you.
Go ahead, Chris. Yeah. What was that?
I was saying, I know I have a turkey decoy out in the shed I never opened. I can send you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to throw in on that, and then
I got to look what I have, but I buy stuff like when it goes on sale. That's Chris. I have a house full of stuff.
He's a pack rat.
Yeah, I am. So, I have them big metal stakes to go into turkey decoys. I got packs of those somewhere. So I'm sure I have some stuff laying around. I'll toss in. We'll definitely, we'll definitely get something going. I just appreciate you wanting to help. To be honest with you, all you guys wanting to help and make it happen. And so here's the biggest thing with you two guys, because we're going to end up having to wrap up. We're at 1:12.
Yeah.
Biggest two things with you guys is this: if we're going to put brow hook in this, you sponsored, we're going to get you on a card, get it out there. Now we got to get it sold. And I appreciate you and everything you've done to help that. But now we got to get that game sold on a market so everybody sees your brow hook. So that'll be something we want to really focus on. You know what I mean? Like, so if you guys can, that's what we're working on right now, Chris and I, getting local gun shops and businesses sell it. If you guys can find places that would be interested to get a hold of Chris and sell it and contact him, and that's that's what we're at. So being you're in Ohio and he's in New York, that's going to help spread the game. And the more we spread, I mean, who knows? We could have 1 million of these out with a brow hook in every game. I mean, think about how cool that would be. Yeah. And that's so the biggest thing is to get the first 500 distributed. And then after that, if it sells and wants more, then we just keep growing more from there. And yeah, Dave, I can throw in a seat. I'll give you a seat. I got a $40 heated seat. I do. I have a $40 heated seat. I'll print Big Sexy Outdoors on it. I'll throw in a seat as well.
Sweet.
All right. Sweet. So I can print Big Sexy Outdoors on it right here in my house, man. You wouldn't believe the stuff I have here.
I still like the backdrop.
You're digging that, ain't you? It was perfect. It was perfect for my kids kicked it. Look, the kids kicked it. Look at my corners. The kids just walked away and kicked it.
I like the
you look thinner though. You look thinner. You might have to get rid of that backdrop so that we can see the full, the full form.
Whoa! If I look thinner, man, I'm moving it closer. I'm gonna put that thing right here. I mean,
I'm sure Chris can just cut that out a little bit. He's the tech guy, remember?
Yeah, exactly.
Trim it
technology.
Guys, I super appreciate you being on here. I super appreciate it. I appreciate your sponsorship. I appreciate Brandon. I appreciate everything you're doing for BSO. Chris, I've already stressed how important you are to this thing. And guys, I super appreciate you getting on. And I'm sorry that we have to end it, honestly, because I'm having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be if we end up going over an hour, if you watch, our viewers went from a crap ton to we're down to about 4.
But there's a few hearts and there's
there is, and so we lose viewers. What we learned is after that 45-hour mark, the viewers start to diminish.
Yep.
So I think the best thing is we can always continue this another day. Which Jasper, you can jump on. I want you to hear this. You can jump on anytime. The link is in the comment section. Anytime you want to jump on this show, brother, you just hit that comment. You get right on. You comment on anything we're doing. Give your opinion, your input, Brandon. All the BSO members, and that is open. I need to stress before we go, that is open to anyone that watches this show.
Yeah, cool.
They just click the link and they can get on and share a story. They can get on and share. I'm working on right now for December 26th. I'm trying to get kids first or adults first. I want to make a whole show of that. So, guys jump on and enjoy, give your inputs. I have some set up already. I'd like at least 4. So we can make the show go, our time frame, 10-minute sections at least.
And even if they're nervous and that's all they want to do is get on real quick, tell their story, and get off, jump on. It's not gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that'll be cool for all of us. You know what I mean? If we can get them on. Next week, we don't have anything planned for next week. I'm not going to lie to you. But what we do have coming at the new year is we have a man. And I'm not gonna give his name yet because we don't have anything in hand yet or nothing. But he's gonna donate a knife, a really nice American flag hand carved knife that this guy made. He's gonna donate one to auction off, and I'm super. Or I don't know if it'll be for the auction or giveaway. I told him it was his choice. But I'm super excited to have that on here. So that's gonna be really cool. Yeah, that's gonna be really cool. He told me, he said, "You hit me up in a year, we'll make it happen." After the new year. So
that's cool. Super
excited for that. Happy birthday. Is today your birthday?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Dude, happy birthday. I would have had my hat. I would have all my stuff on, man.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Nice.
And I'll throw in here too. Would love to share some stories about the South Dakota hunt. We just did I just did that, and I just did a pheasant hunt on Saturday with my brother and my dad. So cool. if you guys want to do a session to talk about that, or I can take questions. That was my first Western hunt. I would love to take questions from folks on what I learned about how to get started in Western hunting, because it's sort of an Eastern hunter, Western world sort of thing. So would love to help folks with that. And, if that would be...
we have nothing planned for next week. Nothing, right, Chris? There's nobody on the schedule.
Come on back.
We've been scheduled out for weeks. Yeah, we've been scheduled out for weeks. We have nothing planned for next week. Why don't you guys get on? I'll see if we can get the other BSO members to jump on. That way you can meet them. That'll be a cool session, Chris. Dave is going to have to show his face. Dave's got to show his face for at least 5 minutes. We'll get all the other BSO members on, introduce you to them. You can tell your story, and live we'll go into, Dave always has a lot of questions, so that'd be cool if we can get him on here. Honestly, he'd be a big part of what we're doing.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. If not, he's always in the comments, so you'll know he's there. But let's do that. Why don't we continue next week, and you can tell your stories that way, and we'll go from there. Because I really enjoyed having you on. I think that, honestly, our viewers have. This is probably one of the most live viewers we've had on and off for. In a while. I don't want to say ever, but in a while. So
cool. Yeah. I'll be happy to do that. And we can answer some questions. And I just checked my calendar. I'm good for next Monday night. So
all right, let's do that. So guys, we're gonna cut out. We're gonna say God bless. We're gonna thank everyone, and you guys have a great night.
Yeah, you too.